So as you can see, this is Colorado Springs in January 2023, and I have been through every January in Colorado Springs since 1992. So this looks very similar to all the rest of them that I have seen growing up. So yeah, this is the neighborhood that I live in. This is the Northwind neighborhood. It's in 80918. It's right off of Dublin and Rangewood, just south of Cottonwood Creek Park. So this neighborhood was built in the 80s and then finished out in the 90s. And it is a lot of ranches, 2 stories. There are some tri-levels in here as well. Hard to see exactly how beautiful the neighborhood looks when it's covered in just as beautiful snow. So I'm here walking with my trusty sidekick Obi, and we are just taking a quick walk. It's pretty cold out here. I just wanted to come out here and shoot a quick video so that people could see what it's like. This is what it's like in January in Colorado Springs. Now, granted, it doesn't always look white like this. Like, I will tell you that January is more of a white Christmas than December ever is. December is very devoid of snow. It has so much cold, so much wind, but no snow, very little snow. And so January, February, March, and April are the big snowy months for us here. But usually if we get snow, within a day or two, it's gone. And so this has actually stuck around for a while. We have got that big snowstorm that I think this is California's rainstorm, and we're getting it here as snow. So it's just sweeping across the whole nation right now. But otherwise, this is typical for January to see snow like this. The rooftops may be covered in a permanent layer of snow for the next couple of weeks before it finally melts. So this neighborhood, as you can see, is fenced. A lot of the newer neighborhoods that you'll see, I almost slipped. You'll see online, the newer neighborhoods have that split rail fence. It's that lower fence that it's not a privacy fence. And to my understanding, that they do that just to have a closer feel with the community of people who live there. They can feel closer to their neighbors. So depending on if you like that or not, I prefer the privacy fence myself. Usually you'll see the up and down privacy fence, like the one that I'm walking next to, but we're gonna watch this. Oh, look at this fence. So this is a side-to-side fence. You just see it here. So they did that. It's nice work. I like it. So you can see the neighborhoods here. We'll just take a quick woo. There's no HOA in this neighborhood. There used to be back in the 80s, but that fizzled out. So now you can do whatever you want. You can put a trailer in your yard. You can put, as long as you've got the room for it, you can do whatever you want with your backyard, as you can see from behind me. They've got whatever that covered parking area is. But you can have also, you just have trailers out. Not that I want that, but you can do that. So that's this kind of neighborhood. You can definitely go onto Google Maps and just do a street view and peruse through different neighborhoods if you want to do it that way. But this is more for just to tell you about how it is in January in Colorado Springs, just in general. So right now, the sidewalk is pretty, it's pretty slippery. This is a bit more unusual. Usually if we get snow, it is not the slippery kind of snow, or if it is, it'll melt quickly. This storm has had time to snow and then partially melt and then freeze again with more snow. So you've got a lot of slickness on the streets and the sidewalks. You do have to be careful. I would recommend dressing in layers, living here in general, particularly during the now months, because this can go at any time, and we can have, 60s and 70s in the next few days, that's just typically how we have it. Right now, I think we'll stay cold, but usually dress in layers because that's just the smarter thing to do. You can always take them off, but because of our seasonal weather and how quickly it changes, you can have 4 or 5 different seasons in a day is what people like to joke about. And sometimes you can. So it does pay off to carry extra layers, which if you're vacationing is not really what you want to hear, but don't wear sandals. Don't do that. Bring more socks than you think you need. We did have an accident up on Dublin and in Northwind last night, I think. I didn't see it. I just saw it on Twitter. They posted the report. But usually, yeah, when we get a storm like this, so many accidents, and they're perfectly avoidable. It's just drive slow, but people have a problem with that. So, but same thing when it rains. When it rains here, there's accidents, and I'm like, how? It's not. There's not even enough to hydroplane. Like, what exactly did you do? They do it. They find a way. The city ordinance here is that you're supposed to shovel your sidewalks and driveways within 24 hours after the snow is done falling. People are pretty good, at least in this neighborhood, about keeping to that. The snow plows come through pretty responsively. They'll come through pretty quick. We live on the main through street in the neighborhood, so our street definitely gets plowed. Some of the side streets not as much. When I shovel my driveway and sidewalk, I actually shovel all the way out to the street, like almost to the middle of the street, because I just don't want that extra snow there. And if you don't do that, you end up with that kind of situation where you've got all that extra snow that you have to drive over and potentially get stuck in. I don't want to do that. Be more careful when you're driving on conditions like this, because people they do get into more accidents. As you can see, the weather is still good enough to walk my dog, and he loves it. I passed one couple earlier, and they told me I need to get a sweater for this dog. I'm like, well, yeah, that's not a dog's fur. That's not how it works. A dog has fur. I understand they can get cold, quicker, especially because he's shaved a lot shorter right now. But you really do underestimate my dog. He will be outside in this kind of weather for hours if he so chooses. He doesn't mind. We have backyard chickens, so I do have to keep those. Well, you don't really have to do anything for chickens. I mean, it's like any other bird. Birds are out in this weather, and you're like, I still don't know. How do they keep themselves warm? They got enough down and feathers, I guess, but same with the chickens. They'll keep themselves they'll keep themselves warm. We do have a coop for them. Obviously, they stay in there, during, when they go to sleep, but during the day, they'll be out. If it's too cold, the chickens will stay in the coop. They do have a limit. On days like this, you definitely have to go sledding. Cottonwood Creek Park is amazing for sledding. They have this huge hill all around the park, and you just go sledding. Take your kids sledding down there. It's a big open area that you can go sledding in. If you were thinking about getting a car wash, don't. This snow is eventually going to melt and then turn into that mud slosh all over the road. And it's going to take a week to dry. And when it kicks up, you're going to need a car wash. So don't get one. Don't ever get a car wash during the winter here. I can't wait to go inside and be warm. Like, why did I come out here? Look at that. That's all ice and then snow right there. So I do have to be careful walking. You can have a shed in this neighborhood. See that? Oh. It's a very quiet neighborhood. I know a few of my neighbors. They're all very nice. Most of them are. My wife and I started doing monthly events for our neighborhood here. So we've slowly gotten to know our neighbors that way. And we had an extra few eggs from our chickens, so we gave some eggs out because the egg shortage. But yeah, nobody really bothers anybody here. It's a great little neighborhood. All the stuff that you would ever see on the news and go, oh my God, does that happen in Colorado Springs? No, it doesn't. That stuff does not happen here. Because I see those same news reports and I'm like, where is that? It's not here. It's not happening here. I'm quite comfortable with suburban life. I got 3 kids, so I better be comfortable with it. Well, here we are at my house. I'm going to let you go. But it's been nice taking a quick walk with you. You can see what the weather is like in Colorado Springs in January. Hope it's been helpful. I'll see you next time.